Aquinas College, A2 E&A, Matt Oxley, candidate number 4686.
I'm looking at a golfer who plays at a golf club recreationally for fun and enjoyment. Golf has got a governing body called the R&A, Royal and Ancient. All his clubs look to be legal, and the teeing area he's playing on isn't grass, but it's a mat, and that's fine for winter use. First off, he looks to be in the associative phase of learning, has a good fluent golf swing, obviously has a good mental image of what's right and what's wrong, good kinesthetic feel. Probably has quite high self-esteem, but it hasn't yet developed a habitual motion through the ball, and can't always rely on his golf swing under pressure. He's just going through the start of his swing with a wedge. He's got good setup and alignment. Feet square, hips square, shoulder square to the target. His bottom right index finger seems to be a bit off the club, but that's the grip and it doesn't matter. It's up to personal preference really, and if you feel comfortable or not. His back's straight. He's in an athletic position, ready to hit the ball. Taking the club back. Taking the club back. He's on line. Quite a short backswing, but that's good because he's in control. He's only got a wedge in his hand, so he doesn't want to hit it miles. Just wants to hit it straight. He swings a bit shallow for a wedge instead of in front of him and nice and steep. And there's a lot of hip movement through the ball, like a sway, but that's okay. It's nice and compact, and really it's quite simple really. That's all you need for a wedge swing, nice simple compact swing, because the ball isn't going long distances. Strike looks alright, the ball seems to travel pretty straight and on line. Go into a iron swing. Again, set up and alignment's good. His shoulders a little open, his shoulder alignment, which may provoke a fade as his bad shot or a slice. But his feet, hips and knees are square. Again, his index finger on his right hand is a bit off the shaft, but again that's up to personal preference, that's fine. Taking the club back, again on line. At the top of the swing it's fine, again short and compact. Yeah, short and compact backswing, in position to strike the ball, good coil. as he goes back, he rotates his left shoulder, and then supination of the right hand opens the club face so it's square to the target, not going back. His hips rotate, his knees are flexed at address, and he keeps that throughout the swing, which is good. So he's in control, his lower body is supporting his upper body. At the top of the swing, his bicep brachii is fully flexed, and his right arm's extended. Left arm's extended even, sorry. His wrists are hinging about halfway through the backswing, which is good. There. Going back down, he starts rotating his hips first, which is good. Pushing his weight into his left side, so he hits down and covers the ball, a descending blow, which is always great for an iron. You don't want to hit up on the ball with an iron. You want to hit down on it. It looks to me as his head stayed behind the ball, which is good. He's not up and out of it quick. He stayed through it, down and through. His right bicep brachii is now extending through the ball, and his left arm's now going to start flexing. His right hand is now in pronation as he extends down the target line. Good extension through the ball, which is always good for extra power and distance. Rotates his sternum through the ball good. Everything's rotating through the ball at once, which is good. Nothing's being left behind or out of sync. Going through the ball, his right foot is off the ground and his left foot's on the ground supporting his weight, and finishes into a balanced position. Going forward to a driver now, a driver swing. Sets up again. Good alignment in the hips, feet, knees. Knees slightly flexed, which is good for support. Good balance there. Weight seems to be on his balls of his feet. Again, his left shoulder's a bit open compared to the rest of his body, just a little twisted, but nothing, not a great deal wrong with that address position. Back straight. Takes the club back quite round his body. Yeah, quite round his body, and he doesn't like his iron shots where he hinges his wrists halfway back and gets the club in a nice upright position. It's more shallow, which is good with a driver, but I'd like to see a bit more wrist hinge going halfway back. It seems it's a bit flat and a bit too much arms round his body. The club gets behind him a bit, which is makes it harder to square the club going down. It's kind of behind his body, and it makes it probably, with his driver, his bad shots a draw or a hook. And again, same theory applies. Knees flexed, arms hanging down naturally. Rotation of the left shoulder gets the swing started in a one-piece takeaway, and then halfway back his left wrist starts opening up into supination, and then he carries on through to the top of the swing. His right bicep brachii is in flexion, and his left arm's extending across his chest, which is good coil and a good supported backswing position. Keeps his head fairly still, and a good sign of, although I did say his shaft playing halfway back was quite shallow and round his body, he does get the good playing at the top of the backswing. You know this because his left shoulder is hugging his chin, which shows a good sign of correct playing at the top of the swing. Going down, his left hip starts rotating, starts the backswing, starts the follow through swing, sorry. That's kind of like a trigger. Shifts his weight forward onto his left side, and then turns through to his right side, following down the line, extending down the line. And a good golf swing should mirror what you do on the backswing, should mirror what you do in the forward swing, which is he shows it here. So whatever flexes on the backswing, the opposite should flex on the forward swing. And yeah, good extension down the line. Finishes into it's balanced, but I wouldn't say it could be a lot more balanced. Probably his stance is a little too narrow for a driver swing. Should be shoulder width apart or more. Just to because it's a powerful ballistic motion, quick. You need distance, so you're going at the ball hard with quite an aggressive rhythm. So that's probably why he doesn't. A good sign of balance is always finishing your swing and staying there in your finished position until the ball lands, and he's very quickly out of the shot after he hits the ball. Club finishes wrapped round his neck, which shows a good release of the club. It's not a short, decelerating follow through. Go into a putting stroke from 20 feet away. His alignment seems to be even a little left of the hole. Maybe that's the break. It's a left to right put. Set up to the ball nice and square. Arms hanging down naturally. Back straight. Taking a quick look at the hole for a mental image. Takes that mental image and now puts it into action. One look, strikes the foot. Good, it seems a good rhythm to the putting stroke. Natural arc, inside to inside, which is textbook. You're not trying to fight anything that way. It's just you're letting your shoulders rock back and forth. No wrists or anything. No hitting the putt with your bigger muscles, more control, instead of small muscles, which is harder to repeat under pressure. Looks like a nice aggressive, positive strike. Releases the putter, head towards the target. The actual ball rolls fairly nice. Obviously goes in the hole, back of the hole, shows a good confident putter with high self-esteem. I'd say now going back looking at weaknesses, starting at the wedge shot. I'd say the weakness here, although it's nice short controlled backswing into follow swing, he does seem to be coming over the top a little bit in his golf swing, not just with his wedge but with his driver and his iron play. It's only slightly, but again, he's a fairly skilled player. He won't have anything really wrong with his golf swing, it'll just be small tweaks. It's harder to acknowledge what the strike's like because he's playing off a mat, but it seems okay. But I'd say his number one weakness for his actual golf swing is coming over the top of the ball slightly. I think that's kind of compensating for what I said earlier, is the club's getting slightly behind him on halfway back. Instead of rotating the club away with his left shoulder and getting the club parallel to the ground in a one-piece takeaway, which he does fine, from then on he just rotates the club up, he doesn't hinge his wrists as he should. Halfway back he should have a 90-degree angle between, a 45-degree angle between his wrist and the club, and it should create like an L shape, going back. Where his club head is pointing to the sky, the butt end of the club, the grip, is pointing to the floor. This shows good wrist hinge and good set and good coil on the wrists, creates a lot of power and lag for more distance. Where he doesn't get this, he kind of just rotates his shoulders round his body, which gets him kind of behind the club plane, although it's good at the top, and he compensates it and gets it back, being a good player he is. Going up, it's not on plane all the way, it's behind him, and then he's got to compensate by coming over the top of the ball to hit the ball square. This provokes a slice as a bad shot, or a fade. But again, being a skilled player, using his hand-eye coordination and his wrists, he could probably get away with it a lot of the time by using his wrists to like manipulate the club through impact, get it more online, get the ball flying straight. But not always works. Again, he's not built a habitual motion, and quite hard to repeat under pressure all the time. So his bad shot probably a high slice because of coming over the top of the ball. I also think his left hip is rotating out the way a little too quickly for his rest of his body. He's kind of outracing the rest of his body. He's coming out of it a little, and that may be a telltale sign of why his balance is off at the end of his golf swing with his driver. He's kind of aggressively, his hips have turned too aggressively and knocked his balance out of sync, and he's unable to finish holding that pose for a long period of time.
Okay. How are you going to? How would you correct him then? So what sort of thing would you do for his action plan?
I think his putting is fine. Seems great and seems nice and natural how it should be. I would, for his number one priority weakness, I would cure the coming over the top of the ball, but I think that's only because he's compensating, and it's only because of him being too flat on the bat swing. So I would get him on a golf range where it's a lot easier to build a mental picture and build motor programs and get muscle memory of what's right and what's wrong, like a kinesthetic feel of what's good and what's bad. Because he's a skilled player, he won't need that long of a time scale. I'd say 3 weeks at 2 times every week for 3 weeks, an hour on the range. I would always promote having a shaft or a pole on the ground as an alignment aid. Even if that's not his priority weakness, I would always have it there, just in case his alignment slips, or just a good visual guidance and manual guidance to always be there and something to look at and something to follow. That could help with his left shoulder alignment. But I would get, for his priority weakness, I would get another shaft, quite a tall one, and I would put it where his right heel is, about 2 foot away from it. I would stick it in the ground upright and just use it again as a visual guidance, something there to look at. And the aim is to swing without hitting this shaft or pole. And you want to swing upright. It promotes an upright plane and will stop him coming over the top of the ball, because he won't have to anymore, because he doesn't have to compensate anymore. So this shaft will sit upright in the ground. He'll now swing, and if he swings without hinging his wrists and correctly swinging the club on plane, his shaft of his club will strike the shaft in the ground, and he'll know that he's done the skill wrong. So I'll do this for 3 weeks. And then another drill he could do is for once he feels like he's got an upright swing with like a good plane, more in front of him and more less use of the wrists and hits the ball with his bigger muscles because he's not having to manipulate the club face through impact, I would start first in the first week of the action plan to start with his wedges or his short clubs, build a nice tempo and much easier to do with short clubs. And then as he feels confident and his self-esteem is getting higher, I would promote to use moving to mid irons maybe. But again, I don't feel as if practice like this you shouldn't use a driver, you shouldn't be going at it hard, you shouldn't be putting an aggressive rhythm on the ball and getting out of sync. Just the furthest I'd go, maybe in the last week of the action plan, is up to a 5-iron. This way you'll hit a lot of good shots, he'll hit a lot more good shots than he would with his driver doing the drill, and it'll keep self-esteem and high, and he won't get bored or downhearted if he's not doing it right. And another drill, just to and then just to add to the shaft drill, getting into like the third week of the action plan, you can then take away the shaft and see if he's improved, see if he still feels that same kinesthetic feel, and see if he's developed that muscle memory of an upright in front swing without having the visual guidance there to like work off. So see if he still hits decent shots without it there. And then another drill would be putting a head cover or the mat he uses, or anything really that's soft that won't damage your club, just out from the ball, about 12 inches away from the ball, not behind the ball, but out to the right hand side of the ball, where because I've noticed he comes over the top of the ball obviously, and he's got a out to in golf swing. So by putting this head cover about 12 inches away from the ball, if he's still coming over the top of the ball after a 3 week time scale, if he hits balls with this guide here and strikes the head cover or whatever it may be, then it's a telltale sign that he's still coming over the top of the ball because he's striking that first. The club face should enter the hitting zone or hitting area before the ball in a shallow area where the club's in front of the body, in front of the sternum, and then you should rotate onto the ball and through. Where when he's coming over the top of the ball, he's kind of throwing his arms out of sync, and then it all gets a little out of sync. His hips are moving this way, and his arms are coming over the top of the ball. So that this head cover in front of behind the ball will just be another visual guide to promote a nice out to in goal swing instead of in to out, which he's fighting with now. So if he's still struggling after 3 weeks, I'd get him on a golf range again. This is only a quick and easy drill, gives good feedback. I'd say 2 weeks. 3 times a week for 2 weeks, half an hour duration, about 50 balls. Again, starting with a wedge or a short iron. You don't need to hit it hard in this drill, you just need to gain control and gain a feel and feedback for what's the skill you're looking for and what the drill wants you to do. So again, start with short irons, hitting the ball, and if you're coming over the top of the ball still, and you're hitting or you're striking the head cover before the ball, or skimming it, or whatever, then go back to the previous drill on gaining an upright, the shaft drill on gaining an upright in front golf swing, and you can do both if you want. You can put the head cover behind the ball and do the shaft drill at the same time. Once you feel that you are striking the ball nice and straight, your divots are flying straight, you're not cutting across the ball as much, putting left to right spin on the ball, producing that fade or slice, then you could make the visual guidance smaller, like a smaller head cover, so it's harder to hit. Another golf ball maybe is a good one. If you're striking the other golf ball before your own, the one you're intending to strike. And you can move up to a higher club, maybe a mid-iron, hit balls with a mid-iron. Again, I wouldn't go to a driver or 3-wood because I don't think it's ingraining proper rhythm and discipline into your drills. Your drills should be there to improve your swing, not just to thrash balls with, and I don't think you'll see the same results as you do with a mid-iron as you do with a driver. I think you'll be more successful in the drill, and your arousal levels will be better just swinging with or just using mid-irons or short irons. You could also change the area you're practicing to. Not always hit straight down the range. You need to pick a target out, be precise in your practice. Don't stand on there all day thrashing balls. Keep it to like the time scale I've said, 50 balls 3 times a week for 2 weeks. Just ingrain proper muscle memory, and then you can start moving to different targets, different yardages. Start doing 50-yard chips with the same drill, moving on to hitting it at the 150-yard green, and then to put it into practice better, more realistic, you can pick out a target which relates to your golf course. Say like at the range there's a 150-yard green, which is like your 11th green at your home course. Start hitting, set yourself a challenge, 10 balls at the middle of the green. If you miss the green once, you start again. 10 balls at the green. If you miss again, you start again. Just keep on trying to ingrain the proper technique of not coming over the top of the ball and hitting it from the inside, which is more correct, more textbook fashion, produces a straighter ball flight. Once you feel comfortable and you're confident in yourself and you've gained a good kinesthetic feel of what's good and what's bad in the drill, you can take it onto the golf course. You don't need to do the drill on the golf course, obviously, but you can put it on into practice around your golf course, around your home course, more realistic. Don't do it in comps, because I think you only get confused and you'll get flustered. Again, if you feel like you're not going anywhere and you're not improving, I'd go back to the range and do the exact same action plan until you feel confident in the drill and you're confident in your own swing.